If there ever were a nuclear war and all U.S. military ground communication was destroyed, this $223 million plane would become the command and control center for the U.S. military's most senior officials. This is the E-4B Night Watch. It's basically a flying war room designed to withstand a nuclear blast.
I like to think of the E-4B as kind of like a flying backup Pentagon, potentially more secure than the Pentagon. If you're seeing it at its maximum capability, which hopefully we never do, yeah, you're looking at an apocalyptic scenario, which is why it's affectionately known as the Doomsday Plane.
Four E-4Bs make up the National Airborne Operations Center, and the U.S. Air Force is responsible for the operation of all four of them, out of Offutt Air Force Base, near Omaha, Nebraska. The retrofitted Boeing 747s were made for war. Originally designed in 1973, the E-4 series planes were thought to be the best way a president during the Cold War might survive a nuclear explosion. And since their inception, one of the Doomsday planes has stood on alert 24/7.
Because we're a 24/7 ops mission, we are not a non-deployable unit due to our proximity to the president and all other key assets at one time. But day-to-day it is highly important because we can assume the role of a primary command center, much like the Pentagon is, much like STRATCOM can be. We can assume that role in the air as well.
In the immediate aftermath of a nuclear blast, the President, the Secretary of Defense, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff would all be safe aboard the E-4B. From there, they could order nuclear strikes or execute emergency war orders. And while the majority of the E-4B's capabilities are classified, we do know a few things. The plane has 3 decks and can hold a crew of up to 112 people. With 4 massive engines, the E-4B can fly for 12 hours straight without refueling. But with aerial refueling capabilities, it could theoretically fly for several days. It costs nearly $160,000 per hour to fly the E-4B, making it the most expensive airplane the Air Force operates. And it's built to survive a nuclear blast. To prevent radiation, the windows have a wired mesh, similar to what you'd see on the window of a microwave. Equipment and wiring on board are hardened to survive an electromagnetic pulse. There's also thermal and nuclear shielding, and direct fire countermeasures. Aboard the plane, space is broken down to optimize war coordination. At the front of the plane, executive quarters house the senior military officials. The upper rest has 18 bunks available for the Air Force crew. They work 24-hour, 7-day shifts and sleep on board. Beneath that is the secure conference room, where the Joint Chiefs, President, and Secretary of Defense can give war orders. The briefing room is where officials can update the traveling press or battle staff on strategy and coordination efforts. In the center of the plane, officers from every branch of the military will hammer out a strategy in the event of a crisis. This space is known as the battle staff room, and all outside communication happens at the back of the aircraft, from the communication and technical control room. From here, operators can communicate with virtually anyone in the world, in any situation.
It's designed that in the most austere environments during or after a nuclear war, it survives and can communicate from the most cutting-edge communications technology to old, antiquated communications technology. We have the ability to endure and communicate with fielded forces and the rest of the U.S. government.
That bubble on top of the E-4B is where all the communication technology is held. It's called the Radome, and an estimated 67 satellite dishes and antennas are kept here. The E-4B has more communication capabilities than Air Force One. There's even a 5-mile-long tail that can be extended behind the plane to allow for communication with submarines that are underwater. But even with all the fancy communication tech, you'd be surprised at how old school the rest of the technology on board is. There's no digital and there's no touchscreens. Everything is analog, and that's on purpose. That vintage vibe continues throughout the airplane.
The E-4B doesn't really have windows, and it's actually really drab on the inside. You're looking at kind of a beige color that looks like it came straight out of the 1970s or 80s, which it did.
The Doomsday plane's utilitarian nature is completely intentional, to keep the focus on the job at hand, preparing for the worst. But hopefully we'll never have to see the Doomsday plane at its full capacity. During peacetime, the E-4B's main job is to transport the Secretary of Defense on foreign trips, and one always follows the President and Air Force One on overseas visits.
The mission is very tedious. It is, no kidding, one of the most arduous things that you could possibly do, but it's so rewarding in the sense of every day you know that you're doing something or you're preparing for the worst.
All right, as you've seen right there, they had a doomsday plane, which that popped up in my feed on social media while I was doing last night. Actually, no, it was a couple of days ago. Actually, that popped up in my feed, and I seen that, and I watched just a part of the video. I don't watch the full thing when I first seen it. But Esau is ready to hide, man. Esau has all types of technology and weaponry and things along that nature for them till when time comes, when doomsday hits, when all hell starts to break loose in this place. They have things in store for them to get out the way. They have bunkers planned. I never even knew they had a doomsday plane before until I seen that. That's something new to me. They have all types of things. They probably got underwater facilities, all types of things, man. And like the lady said that, what did she say? She said they can fly up to 12 hours without refueling. And also they have a thing, whatever it was called, they have a thing where they can fill it up while they're flying. So it probably can go a little bit longer than that. So 12 hours of you being in the air without having to refuel, that's enough to. And then also they said it can withstand a nuclear it can take a hit, a nuclear bomb. So look, Esau's ready, man. But before we get into it, we'll give our praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, Great Millstone. Shalom to you, brothers, pushing this truth and sincerity all over the earth. Another shalom to you all for like that there. And as you've seen, their doomsday plane, it can withstand. They explained what goes on in the windows in the front. Because they said the plane didn't have windows like on the side and stuff, so you really can't see what's going on unless you're in front of the plane, a pilot. And then I best believe it can withstand a lot of things. Man, they had, what did it have? It had flares on it, which was showing flares. So if a missile's coming in at an egg, you can shoot the flares. You know how flares work. Shoot the flares to deflect the missile, and the missile goes after one of the flares and it blows up there, and all types of things, man. But best believe that Esau in that plane, best believe it's I lost my train of thought. Best believe that it's tested it's tested against all the weapons that they have on this earth that they done tried with, like bombs, missiles, nuclear missiles, and all these other things. Best believe that it's tested for that. But guess one thing that is not tested for? It's not tested for them chariots, man. And I guarantee you one thing, that one chariot, however it goes, blast, one laser beam, one whatever coming from a chariot, guarantee you destroys the whole thing, man. Guarantee. Because the plane and all that stuff, when they're testing these planes and the armor and all the stuff that they're putting on it, they're testing it based off the stuff that they have access to, the materials that the enemy might have, and stuff they have access to. They don't have access to, or what they don't know what's in what's in the chariots, man. Because when the chariots come, what's going to happen? They're going to be burning, like it says in the Apocrypha. It says that the sparks of tempest, and the people are going to be turning into powder. So best believe one beam of that is going to destroy the whole thing up. It's not going to be able to withstand multiple blasts from the chariots, man. It's not going to be able to do that. That's why Esau knows when the time comes, that's why they're going to have to run to the bunkers. Like the scripture's saying, let's get it. Slakia. Isaiah 2. He started 19. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth. Why? For the fear of the Lord, and for his glory, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake the earth terribly. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the cliffs of the rocks and into the top of the ragged rocks, for the fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake the earth terribly. And that's exactly why that's exactly what the Space Force is about, fighting the Lord and the angels when they when they return. And these other things that they have set up is for when they do come, or when the World War III is at the peak where it's really getting ready to start popping off, with missiles and stuff start flying. These people have these bunkers and stuff ready for that. So when stuff starts to get bad, they're gonna go straight to them bunkers, and they think it's gonna be all safe. When the nuclear holocaust is over, they think it's gonna be all safe, and they're gonna come up and re-civilize Earth, man, and start back all the way over how America started. They think it's gonna just keep repeating itself, man. And it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen like that. Because when they're in their bunkers, when they're in that security, when they're in their safety, let's believe that the elect men is gonna come busting down them bunker doors easily, and they're gonna take them out, and you going into slavery. So that's how it's gonna go. It's not you're gonna hide in the bunkers and you're gonna be safe. No, man. They think they got these planes, these doomsday planes and stuff like that, to withstand all this stuff, but they don't understand that they're getting ready to fight against something that they have never seen before, against a technology so far superior past them that they're not gonna know what to do. That's why it says in the Apocrypha, says they were so scared, but yet they fought. Why? Because the Most High put the Spirit on them to keep fighting. They were so afraid. Yes, there's fight. They're gonna still fight. They're gonna be seeing people getting zapped, jets getting smacked out the sky left and right, not be able to do anything, and they're gonna be so afraid. But like, we still gonna fight. That's the type of level. That's the type of technology and level that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is on, man. It's not on the level that you're gonna be able to try to build to make a doomsday bunker, a doomsday bunker or a plane or wherever the case you want to build to try to stop that, because it's not gonna happen. You see, and that's Esau for you, man. Revelation 6. Start at 13. Actually, I'm gonna start at 12. Revelation 6 and 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, as the stars, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as the fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves where? In the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? You see, they're gonna hide themselves. They have these facilities and these planes and these things for that reason, because they know, best believe the banking families, the Illuminati, the top of them, they know what's gonna happen. They know that when the Lord comes back, they know they're not going to be able to fight back. They know that their technology is not going to be able to surpass him. They know these things. That's why they have those things ready. Because you got to understand, Esau puts on this persona that he's almighty, he's big, and he's bad, he can do this. But if that was the case, if they was they bad, then why do y'all have the doomsday stuff then? Why do y'all need a Space Force? Because y'all know what's coming, man. And y'all know that you guys don't have the technology to withstand. And you know you're not gonna win. Esau knows that they're not gonna win, but they're still gonna try to put on that show, still try to do what they try to do to make it seem like, to give themselves hope, man. It's just not gonna happen. So when you watch these documentaries or these shows, or you see an ad about these doomsday prepping and all this other stuff, and they have these bunkers underground, but they know the day of doom is coming, and they also know that their kingdom is getting ready. They're getting ready to lose their kingdom, man. Their place of rulership on the earth is getting ready to expire. Because the new kingdom is getting ready to arise. The kingdom of the Israelites. And that kingdom is never going to fall, man. Because we're established. Everybody is going to, all the nations is going to come to us after they get done in their slavery. nations are going to learn after us, man. They're gonna be following our way. And if they don't want to get down with the program, then they're gonna have to lay down. We know as they bring those who not you know the scripture, those who not have me reign over them, bring them hither, paraphrasing, and slay them before. Esau's not gonna have a chance for that, because you know what's gonna happen to them. They're gonna be done away with. They're gonna be Edomites walking around no more, man. They're whispering in your ear, telling you try to do this, do that. Because the only thing they do is they're gonna try to rise up again and take over power, man, and try to rule the earth again, which is not gonna happen. Your time is almost up, man. You gotta enjoy the rest of this wicked kingdom that you have left. You gotta just enjoy it, because you're not gonna have forever to rule. So you gotta just soak up everything that you've been doing and just enjoy yourself. You gotta live. Esau has to live his best life, man. Because after this is over, then hey, it's gonna be nothing but hell in the nation. Y'all going to be in slavery. Esau, you're going to be in slavery. Man. There's nothing you can do about it. No matter how many Jake you kill, no matter how many the vaccines you roll out, the chip, all this other stuff that you have going on, the plans, the new world order, all that stuff is going to fail, man. So in the race war, you gonna get Jake, you gonna get the bloodshed, you gonna do it. You're not getting the birthright back though. And it's not gonna happen. So you keep making your doomsday bunkers and your doomsday plans and do all this, but it's not gonna prevail, man. All right. So with that, I'm gonna close out. Give our praise unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles, elders, a great millstone. Shalom to you, brothers, pushing this truth and sincerity all over the earth. Shalom to you, hopeful elect out there. And I'll catch you guys in another lesson. Lord willing. Shalom.